Williamson is 10 times the world champion. Bax and Stupilis, they've done it again. Unbelievable. Marvin van Lukener certainly deserves the red plate. And what an incredible sport this is. Fast, high and spectacular. Unbelievable.
4-round, 12-race season to get underway.
Marvin van Lukener, Robbie Bax then, the current red plate holders and the championship leaders by 4 points coming into this round.
Our promoter is outside the window. I cannot tell you, but he's revved up to the music. He's revved up to the atmosphere that's happening here at Kramolin. And all the riders love this track. I've been around it several times walking prior to this weekend. I must confess, I haven't done it this weekend. We got here late. We had a problem getting the flight. We had to stay an extra night in Prague. So we got here a bit late and we were straight into work, Bradley, weren't we?
Yeah, we certainly was.
Introduction of these riders to the crowd. What must be going through them now?
What, the riders?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I don't even want to imagine what is going through their minds right now. But I'll tell you what, probably the most relaxed man on the grid is Daniel Williamson, of course. Heavily experienced, 10-time world champion. He's been here before. He's got the T-shirt. He's had many T-shirts. And, well, he knows what to do.
He's worn most of them out, obviously, under his body armour. There, Lucas Cherney. Lucas Cherney, the man who rode here in 2007, and I don't believe it. Might have been his father. I'll find out later on. You never know. Bastien Chopin doing the gardening. This little bit of nervous activity where they scuffle the earth around from under the wheels, trying to give themselves a good shot. And something else we'll point out, they load the front suspension, which is something completely new to me this weekend. They load the front suspension, they pin it down in a depressed state so that when the gate goes and they launch it, the front stays planted, it does not pop up, or tendency to wheelie is far less, and only when they brake hard and hit the first bump does the anchor pin free itself, and it's business as usual for the front suspension. Fair summary?
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head there. Jake Brown and Joe Millard then. Well, very, very experienced crew, of course, not only in this championship, but also the British Championship as well. Both come from Sidecarcross families. Of course, Stuart Brown, the father of Jake Brown. Of course, Norman Brown as well. Marco Heinze, Meinrad Schelber there, the number 18 pairing. Next to them, young Tim Leffering, just 17 years of age. And I tell you what, he is, without doubt, a name to keep in your minds for future years.
I tell you what, what's interesting there, the number 18 just going out of shot, that is another left-hand chair, that's Marco Heinze. He's got to be careful because he is chair to chair with Leffering. That outfit will go left, Leffering
will go right.
Will go right.
It will.
That is inevitable to keep them apart. And trust me, I know from experience, when you line up alongside a Continental outfit, you have to pay real attention to keeping it straight. Otherwise, you get dragged into each other, and that's what happens.
And that is not what you want at all.
It's not what you want at all.
So there are the majority, of course, are right-hand chairs, but we do have a number of left-hand chairs as well. Jake Brown, Joe Millard, one of them. And of course, as you say, they're the Swiss pairing of Heinze and Shell, but we've got a couple more in the mix as well. But wow. We can see just behind Gordio and Casper Stupilis, just on the far right-hand side of the screen, is the 418 of Stefan Vyers and Loa van der Putten.
Where is Bax? Which side of the grid is Bax?
Bax was on the far side, on the inside of the gate.
This first right-hander?
Yes, with just there on the far left-hand side of the screen with the yellow and black helmet.
So we'll be looking for Etienne Bax, and presumably Van Lukener's up there as well. So they will have chosen those right-hand gates.
Van Lukener, Bax, Hermans, all in line.
Well done, that's brilliant. So we're getting into the closing stages where we get... So these guys this end have drawn the short straw, but let's have a look. This is the 15-minute board. Then we get the 5. I'm going to rely on Bradley's eagle eyes to spot them. I'll describe the action up to the first turn, but I know he's going to call them quicker than I will when we get round the top, because he's on the case, he knows where they go. We'll get the 5-second board in a minute. Look how depressed that front suspension is. They're all the same, it's all compressed. Watch for the gate. They're looking now, the reg belt, the gate's down and away they go. Look on the left-hand side, what about the whole shots from over there? Who's got it going through? That's Bax.
Daniel Willemsen.
Dylan Willemsen.
Daniel Willemsen's got the whole shot. He's got the inside line as well.
Amazing.
Etienne Bax had the outside line. Who's it going to be? It's Julian Veltman and Andre Chermak right in the mix there as well. That is Lucas Cherney and Bastien Chopin down in the mid-pack. Who is it out in front? Etienne Bax and Nicolas Mousset, as you say, around the outside of the 10-time world champion.
Bax with Willemsen at number 111. 82 then. The 2019 reigning champion. Cuban in there as well. That's a good one by Brown and Millard. Oh, there's that number 18. That's
Brown and Millard
on the line. What do you have to do to get some left there? Any luck at all? It's bad luck. What has happened to Brown and Millard? Etienne Bax, 82. Etienne Bax, Nicolas Mousset lead from Marvin van Lukener and Robbie Bax. The Bax boys then, first and second. Daniel Willemsen, and here comes Hermans, Koen Hermans.
Julian Veltman is in 5th place as they come halfway around this first lap. But I tell you what, Marvin van Lukener and Robbie Bax, they have got one thing in mind: to extend the gap at the front of this championship. There is Daniel Willemsen and Rodolphe Lebreton, the Dutch and the Frenchman, just ahead of Koen Hermans and Glenn Janssens.
We got the blue and yellow, the familiar blue and yellow of the number 3 bike. Here comes Julian Veltman, number 31. There, Willemsen over the top with Rodolphe Lebreton. Amazing start. Oh, Veltman in 5th place. He's got to get his finger out, that's for sure. Justin Kuban, Dion Rietman had a cracking start. The red-shirted number 14. This is amazing. I know it's great. I know it's exciting. These guys will be buzzing, absolutely buzzing.
They absolutely will. But to Koen Hermans and Glenn Janssens, as we've said so many times throughout this season, they have not had any luck at all. But here they are then, about 4th place, it would seem, over the tabletop into this left-hander. And, well, out in front. Let's have a look. Etienne Bax and Nicolas Mousset, an opening lap time of a 1:55. Fantastic stuff then from the reigning world champion Etienne Bax and Nicolas Mousset. Van Lukener Bax in 2nd place, Willemsen and Lebreton in 3rd, Veltman Chermak there in 4th place, right in touching distance, Kuban Rietman, Cherney Chopin, Steegmans into 7th place, then it's the Swiss pairing in 8th place, Lefferink and Bleskis rounding out the top 10, but what a fantastic stuff there, especially from the number 33 of the father and son pairing of Steegmans. Here they are, coming into picture then in just a moment's time, but up the inside almost of Lucas Cherney and Bastien Chopin, there is Steegmans.
That's good. That Steegman's going well, the number 33. I mean, he's good. He's vastly experienced. He's got a good line. Cherney, Bastien Chopin, Steegman's on the right. Is that Varick there alongside?
I think you're right there. Kurt Varick and Larry Kunas up the inside of Steegmans.
It looks like Varick. There he is, number 6, Kurt Varick, Larry Kunas, the number 6, blue-shirted. There they are, Steegmans then. He's been passed by Varick. No disgrace in that. Don't you worry, you keep going. Look after your boy. That's the important part.
Davy Sanders and Luke Rostang absolutely carving their way through the field.
Marco Heinze, Heinrich Schelbert there. We'll see if we can get this timing screen to perform.
Willemsen and Hermans side by side over the jumper. Hermans and Janssens go around the outside. Willemsen and Lebreton go for the inside line. Not quite making a move this time around, but they do have more speed. Willemsen has the line. Oh, a little bit of a mistake there from Willemsen and Lebreton. Can Hermans and Janssens get side by side over the jump once again?
Oh, brilliant. Here comes Willemsen then. Rodolphe Lebreton, the passenger, leads out, he gets pushed. Hermans trying to get through on the inside. A bit of a shove on the young French passenger. But no, the 111 passenger hangs in. Under real pressure now, Daniel Willemsen, the 10 times champion, the old warhorse. Koen Hermans, yet to become a world champion, following a man who's won 10 of them. So that's the way to do it. Follow him, watch what he does, and then make you move. We know Hermans is quick. He was 2nd quickest in qualifying. He's fiercely fast on that top bend. What I love about this is this long drop. Once they get round here, they get run past this a little bit. There goes Van Lukener, the red plate going through. Hermans looking at the inside, no way through, and here comes Julian Veltman. Julian Veltman still trailing. Justin Kuban. Who have we got next? There's Varick. Varick coming through. There's Lucas Cherney coming through. It's still Steegmans holding his own.
Doing a fantastic job there. So Peter Steegmans, the 49-year-old, his last GP here this weekend. And what better way to celebrate that than giving his son, Jarno Steegmans, his first GP race. Fantastic stuff then. It really is a family affair, the World Sidecar Cross Championship. But here we have the number 3, Koen Hermans, Glenn Janssens coming into picture now. Into picture, blasting past our vantage point here. Next up is Daniel Willemsen and Rodolphe Lebreton. This is how they did it, Barry.
Amazing, amazing. Look at that. Hermans then on the outside. Willemsen fast, look at that. They're brave off the jump, that's what it takes. And that was on the outside. We saw a quad race earlier on where they went up the inside. That time he did it on the outside and threw it in. Sidecar on the right, you can do it. Sidecar on the left, well, there's still one stuck on the line as far as we know. But the other Swiss guy is going really, really well. Marco Heinze with the other left-hand chair is in 11th place. Our timing screen is up and running. Etienne Bax is out by just 2/10 of a second. That's how close it is from Marvin van Luckenen. Willemsen now no longer in third. Hermans is in third. Veldman still there in fifth. The atmosphere, the noise, the crowd, the excitement. This is a Sidecarcross Grand Prix, and it's just, we're living the moment, aren't we?
We certainly are, and this really is a fantastic venue. The weather is fantastic as well, and well, here we have right on the screen. There is Peter and Jarno Steegmans. Just ahead was at the number 18, the Swiss pairing of Marco Heinze and Meinrad Schelbert.
Yes.
So they are battling for 9th, 10th and 11th, because Davy Sanders and Luc Rostang, they're there as well.
They've gone past Steegmans. Sanders, I think, will have passed Steegmans. So this is the battle between Marco Heinze and Peter Steegmans. There's Davy Sanders. Davy Sanders on the back now of Lucas Cherney. Lucas Cherney coming under pressure. Davy Sanders moving forward. He and Luc Rostang, number 9. And there, the number 18 past Steegmans. So Steegmans dropping back, but you know, he's running at the pace. All credit to the man. When I was 40, I'd had enough. You know, I really had enough.
And this guy's nearly 10 years older.
Yeah, incredible. And you can say the same of Willemsen. You can say the same of Stuart Brown, who's no longer here this season, but hopefully will be back next year.
We hope so.
What a veteran.
Exactly, and of course next year Stuart Brown, it will be 49, Katonin 50, so next year will be Stuart Brown's last chance to compete in the Grand Prix. There we go then. That is Lucas Cherney, Bastien Chopin, the number 25, the number 9, Davy Sanders and Luc Rostang. Of course, Davy Sanders used to be driver of Johnny Vidaire, but unfortunately Johnny Vidaire injured. So Luc Rostang is in the chair. Meinrad Schelbert in the chair of the number 18 driver. Of course, that is Marco Heinze, the Swiss pairing with the left-hand chair into this difficult right-hander now. Who goes where? Davy Sanders to the outside, Lucas Cherney to the inside.
Well, I'm waiting to see, drop back to see. This is a fantastic battle here. Lucas Cherney on the inside, but Sanders has made his way through, battling up. Sanders and Luc Rostang, really, really good, the number 9 blue and yellow pairing. This is terrific racing all the way down the field. We thought we had a good quad race. We've got a cracking Sidecar Grand Prix here. The first of 3 races. Don't let anyone ever knock the 3-race system. There's nothing wrong with this. Jake Brown might.
Well, Jake
Brown might do. But up front, and the battle going on here is absolutely huge. Sanders, though, is away with it now. So he's made his way. He's up onto the back now of Kurt Varick. There's the race leader, Etienne Bax, Nicolas Mousset, leading Marvin van Luckenen and Robbie Bax, not by a country mile, by about the length of an Arctic. That's all it is. So 40 metres in it between those two, and then further back we've got Koen Hermans, but look at Etienne Bax. Etienne Bax came into this championship 17 points off the man who's leading him. If it finishes the way it is, we've got a desperately long way to go. We've still got over 20 minutes and 2 laps. When I brought you to the sport of Sidecar Motocross, I told you it was good. You didn't know it was this good.
You're absolutely right. I mean, going to Hoyk in 2019, that is a complete contrast to here this weekend. We've got the trees, we've got the weather, we've got the action. It really is a perfect weekend so far, and what a fantastic race we've had, not only in the quads, but also in the sidecars. A bit of a nosedive there, nearly, from Marvin van Luckenen and Robbie Bax. Look, I mean, I said to Robbie yesterday, how do you do it? How do you have the strength to hold on? But right there, I mean, one-handed, taking a tear off with a head nearly touching the ground. Fantastic.
Yeah, he'll find his resting places as well. It sounds silly, but when you float in the air, you just take a couple of seconds just to flex your hands and rest and take a breather. You have to seize those moments on the way round. If you hang on tight all the way round, you have not got a hope in hell, because you'll be exhausted, you get forearm pump and everything else. Look at Hermans, Koen Hermans and Glenn Janssens, the number 3 crew, just absolutely on it. And they're chasing down Marvin van Luckenen now. The gap, though, a long way ahead. So they've got 7 seconds to wind in. I don't know if they can do that.
well, 20 minutes remaining, plus of course those 2 laps. It's a possibility, but Koen Hermans and Glenn Janssens, they have to get the head down. I'm sure they're there in view. Marvin van Luken and Robbie Bax are right there in the view of Koen Hermans and Glenn Janssens. But as you say, is there enough time? 19 minutes and 55 seconds.
That is not a 7-second gap. That is definitely not a 7-second gap Van Luken has in front of Koen Hermans here. Koen Hermans now around that left-hander. He'll be, if you can see the man, it'll wind you in, it'll pull you in. You'll be like fishing him in on a fishing reel. Wind him in, wind him in, wind him in, and then pounce. Hermans will do what he can. But out in front is Etienne Bax. The lead now, 2.59 seconds. And if the internet here plays up anymore, I'm going to give him a contribution to buy a new server. There's the system keeps crashing, but it doesn't matter. I'll take my eyes off the screen. Here comes Julian Velman. Julian Velman in 4th, having got past Daniel Willemsen. So the young man, the young frog, his nickname is. I don't mean that disrespectfully. He grins when I say, where do you get the name frog? He said, because I'm jumping like long arms and long legs. And that's the way, how I got the name a long time ago.
Oh, bit of a mistake there from Julian Velman.
And a smack on the head. He punished himself. He knew he'd made a mistake. What are you doing, he's saying? What are you doing? Come on. The mega-powered CBD chassis, the only chassis from that manufacturer in the field. Not the only mega engine, I think. Might be the only mega engine. We'll need to check on that. But his younger brother is certainly using a mega engine. Not here, of course, in the Grand Prix.
The only other mega there is Martin Zizlawski and Jan Hanelik.
Okay, so we have one more from a Czech crew, riding number 88. Are they still in the running? Well, I'm not going to disturb the timing screen because I don't think it's going to let me. Oh, it might now. It might kickstart itself. Yes, it has. It's back in business, flickering when I free that blue button.
Varick and Kunas into 6th place ahead of Kuban and Riekman as we look at Willemsen and Le Breton.
That is not a surprise. Varick is looking good. He just didn't get a good start.
And of course he will have some local support as well. Kurt Varick, an Estonian rider. Of course, we've got the Estonian flag right there in the picture.
Right.
Maybe for Kevin Saar, but of course in this one we do have Kurt Varick as well.
That was no surprise and no accident. Just congratulate our director and the cameraman on spot for that. That was really good. Willemsen and Rodolphe Le Breton now in 5th place, having had a cracking start. He can get that thing off the line, can't he?
He certainly can. And he's doing an absolutely sterling job out there. But Daniel Willemsen and Rodolphe Le Breton, where are they now? 4th place, 5th place?
5th place.
It's relatively lonely there for the 10-time world champion, but still, 5th place. Good points. 16.
Here we go then. Yeah, that's how the points go. 25 points for the win, 22, then 20, then 18, 16 for 5th, as Bradley says, 15, then all the way down to 1 point for 20th place. So there, Kurt Varick and Larry Kunas having a bit of a lonely ride, but they are winding in. They've got their way past Justin Kuban. They're charging on, the Estonian and his Finnish passenger. They ride so well together. They don't live a million miles apart, even though they're in different countries. You know, they're in the northeastern part of Europe, and they see each other quite regularly.
18th place, Jan and Pavel Bukal. Unfortunately, it's not going very well for them for the local pairing of Jan and Pavel Bukal, but, well, 18th place.
Well, they're in the
3
points. They're in the points, albeit 3 points, and they haven't done the rest of the Grand Prix, so it's of no consequence in terms of an overall. But obviously, they'd like to do well in front of their home crowd. But nonetheless, fantastic move by Varick in 6th place, but he is some 7 seconds behind Daniel Willemsen, and obviously that is now the man with the target on his back for the tough Estonian and his Finnish passenger. They are on their way.
They certainly are. So Daniel Willemsen and Rodolphe Le Breton, they need to keep plucking away. There they are right in the view as well, just around the corner from Kurt Varick and Larry Kunas. And as you quite rightly said earlier, Barry, once they are there in view, it's an elastic band, and it will slowly contract until they're there, right on the rear wheels.
Etienne Bax, 3.6 seconds, and now the gap between Van Luckenen in 2nd place and Hermans in 3rd is only 2.5 seconds. It is close at the front for 2nd place. Varick and Kunas then looking spectacular. The camera work is just terrific. Motocross is always difficult to follow, and you normally need a truckload of cameras, but you know, this job is done superbly, and 3 seasons of working with the Sidecarcross teams teach us on WSC an awful lot about camera position, onboard stuff, and interviews, the whole thing. I think it's fair to say that we have become part of the Sidecarcross family.
I think you're right on that one, yeah. Say, and what a team to be a part of as well. Doing a fantastic job here, and well, we've not had it easy, have we really, Barry? I mean, last year we had a whole season planned, but unfortunately it got canned. But here we are with 4 GPs. We're in the 3rd one now, and well, it's being led currently by Bax and Mousset. Van Lukener and Bax 4 seconds adrift, and it's Hermans and Janssens. Veldman and Chermak about 13 seconds behind the 3rd place rider. Willemsen and Le Breton still rounding out the top 5, but the gap last time was 7 seconds, and it's about that now. Here we go then. Daniel Willemsen, Rodolphe Le Breton, got a good start. Davy Sanders and Luc Rostang unfortunately got pushed out to the outside of the circuit, but here we have the current race leader, Etienne Bax and Nicolas Mousset.
There they go, there's the gap. Here comes Van Lukener in blue behind, so the red plate holder back with the race leaders here.
Oh,
that's a massive crash.
That is.
That's a big crash.
Can't quite see a number there, but wow, the yellow flags are being shown, and that does look like a nasty one indeed.
Well, it looks like the passenger might be nursing either a rib or a leg injury. We're looking at the bike, which is upside down on its handlebars and handrail.
Got my suspicion. Oh, Jake Brown and Joe Millard have got underway. So I'm not quite sure what happened to Jake Brown and Joe Millard, but they really, really have not had good luck throughout this year.
We're underway, but they've been lapped now by Etienne Bax. They've had a terribly unlucky season. Brown and Millard, the sole British competitors in the World Championship 2021. Here comes Etienne Bax. Etienne Bax, Nicolas Mousset over the line, and Brown and Millard following them. If they could do worse than tuck in behind Bax and see what they can do. Here comes a battle. Hermans has got Van Lukener. Koen Hermans is up to 2nd. Koen Hermans and Glenn Janssens, the number 3 crew, are past the red plate holders. This will do damage to Van Lukener and enhance Bax's position, and indeed Hermans.
It certainly will. I'm not quite sure where Hermans and Janssens got that from, but that was fantastic stuff. I mean, look at that.
That took you by surprise.
It did. It was showing a gap of 6.5 seconds nearly between Van Lukener and Hermans, so I'm not quite sure how they managed to pull that out of the bag, but maybe a rare mistake from Van Lukener and Bax that we didn't quite see, but
that's Nutley 4, Hicks 3.
It is.
I scored that one. Look at that. Hermans, that was crooked over there, but now he's up behind the lapped Jake Brown and Joe Millard. I feel sorry for those British guys. They're struggling around here. They didn't get the power down, but they've got Koen Hermans and Glenn Janssens right behind. It's only a matter of time before Hermans goes past, which he does now. Here comes Van Lukener over the jump. Spectacular.
And this is into the yellow flag section. There we go. We've got the one of the guys up there walking. The bike is off the circuit, so we didn't quite see who that was. I have my suspicions, but I shan't say until confirmation has arisen. But Koen Hermans and Glenn Janssens over the jump. How did they find the time?
Well, they were 3 seconds. When I called it, they were 3 seconds. They'd halved the gap. So they were obviously on a massive charge. And there you can see just how massive that charge is. They are up to 2nd place. Is it game on here for them to get the win?
I was about to ask you the same question. The gap between Bax and Mousset and Hermans and Janssens is, this time around, it was 6.5 seconds nearly, 6.49, but this time around we'll have to wait and see. But here they come then, Koen Hermans and Glenn Janssens. So much pace from that young crew. Here we go, Bax and Mousset already through. Number 3, Hermans and Janssens. What is the gap this time around? We wait in anticipation. Still watching the timing screen, but it
mustn't take our eyes off the picture.
That's it.
The timing screen's playing silly whatsits again.
We'll come back to that when it's all sorted. But Koen Hermans and Glenn Janssens making away. There we go. 6.5 seconds is the gap. So they are lapping almost identical times.
Up behind Sven Visserlink and Kenny van Galen. And Marvin van Lukener must be feeling, what happened here? Van Lukener backs. You would have thought they would have found the speed, but Hermans absolutely flying Koen Hermans. He really, really is, because he knows he's got enough speed to win this. 149.1, Bax has done the quickest lap, 18 minutes into the race.
Julian Veldman and Andre Chermak didn't quite get the best of starts, so it really is damage limitation for them. And of course, with Marvin van Lukener and Robbie Bax in 3rd, that 4-point difference in the championship will only open up to 6.
Well, past the 53 rider then. That's
Sven Visselink and Kenny Van Galen.
Visselink being passed by Marvin van Lukkenen. The red plate goes past. Away they go up the hill. Third place you're looking at now for the number 2. And he must be wondering what the dickens is going on. He's still got Koen Hermans in sight. Hermans has gone round the corner. And there is Hermans now at that left-hander. Here comes Van Lukkenen. They're still spread out. 30 outfits started this. We've had a couple of retirements and one huge crash that we saw upside down. But can Van Lukkenen get second wind and wind Hermans in? I don't know. He's certainly got the speed. The 2018 champion, Marvin van Lukkenen, with Robbie Bax alongside. They ride together so well.
They didn't quite get that jump quite right. You can see Marvin van Lukkenen just take a quick look to his right, and yeah, it wasn't a good jump there from Marvin van Lukkenen and Robbie Bax.
We just wondered maybe if the passenger was still there. It probably felt a bit light when he landed, and you don't look at the passenger, you just know that he's doing his job, and you do what you can riding your own race. But when it feels a bit different, the first thing you do is look to make sure that he's where he should be, or indeed he's in there at all.
It is not uncommon, as you say, for a passenger to be lost in the race, but what is a little bit more rarer is for the driver to get off the bike, but the passengers stay on. But Tim Leferink and Kostas Paleskas earlier today, we saw that happen, so it can happen. Anything can happen.
And they are 10th. They are 10th at the moment, a good way down, but they are 10th. 1:57 off is their best time, 1:57, so they are 8 seconds off the fastest. Here is Julian Veldman and André Cermak in 4th place at the moment, and I think they're too far back off Van Lukkenen to catch, but you never know. It's 18 seconds. They're having a lonely ride, Veldman and Cermak, but 5th place will be damage limitation. How many times have we used that? 4th place, I beg your pardon. 4th place. How many times have we used that phrase, damage limitation?
Well, I'm sure we're going to say it a couple more times as the race goes on, and in fact the weekend goes on as well. But as I say, Marvin van Lukkenen and Robbie Bax in 3rd, Veldman and Cermak in 4th. The gap will open up from 4 to 6, so it is all still to play for, of course. And 2 races tomorrow, and then the 3 races next week in Oss for the finale of this year's championship. That is all to come.
There is the 5th place crew. Early leaders up the start-finish straight. Daniel Willems shaking his head. Shaking his head. He's saying, what the dickens is going on here? He's cross with himself. He's cross with something. It's just not working. He's either missed a gear or he didn't get the power down. But you can tell the frustration these guys have. They know how they should be doing. They know what they should be doing. They know how they should be riding. And when it doesn't all go together, you blame yourself.
A 10-time world champion will have high expectations of not only the passenger but also the rider as well. You do not win 10 world championships at this level with just being content with second best. You strive for perfection. Kurt Varrick and Larry Kunas are in 6th place on the number 6 outfit. Justin Kuban, Dion Rietman there up next in 7th, some way behind. But Kurt Varrick and Larry Kunas, such speed around this second turn.
Yeah, they're still on it. They're still going well. They're in 6th place. They're behind Daniel Willemsen. No sign of Daniel Willemsen. They were probably hoping that they could close him down, but 6th place is where they are. The old warhorse, the 10 times champion, is ahead of them in 5th, and that's a mighty good ride, but he did get the thing off the line. Etienne Bax has pulled the pin. It's now nearly 8 seconds the lead at the front. So Etienne Bax is going away in the lead, and this will do him a power of good in the standings that will close up those top 3, so that with the 2 races we've got tomorrow, we are set for a battle royal, I can tell you.
We really are, and I can't wait to see what happens tomorrow. But, well, 6 minutes remain in this session, the first race out of 3. Of course, a new format brought in for the shortened 2021 season, but some people like it, some people don't like it, but as you say, Barrett, it's the same for everybody.
Certainly is, and this 3-race format is looking good. They're the race leaders. Bax and Mousset, nice and clean, out front, looking tidy, locking up the back wheel into that left-hander. He looks really determined, and he looks smooth, and he looks aggressive. Tailenders now coming thick and fast, but let's see who's he going past now. 61.
It looks like the 61, as you say, of Litislav and Vitislav Pech.
Pech boys?
Well, we said off air yesterday that Etienne Bax and Nicolas Mousset, they were looking perplexed, I think was the word, and when they finished 3rd overall in Yinin, and of course they had that 9th place in the first race at Langay, and again a 3rd place overall. They would look at what could they do? Could they do this? Could they do that? But whatever they decided, it is the right choice. Out in front by 7, nearly 8 seconds.
Look at the traffic ahead of them, though. 4 outfits, all racing. They're all in their own race. There are 4 outfits all bunched up in front of them. There's, oh, goodness me, goodness. Thank goodness he wasn't in the same run. It wasn't Varick, was it?
No, I don't think it was Varick, no. But I'll tell you what, the person in front of Etienne Baxen and Nicolas Mousset now, there is the number 69, the left-hand chair of Poluzhny and Rozhon, the Czech pairing. But Gert Gordiev and, of course, the reigning passenger champion, Kasper Stupoulis.
Oh, well, this is going to be good stuff. Tailenders ahead of them. Etienne Bax will have done this many, many times in his life.
Stefan Vyers and Loic van der Putten up next. They go wide. Etienne Bax and Nicolas Mousset slide of the inside. Good move there from our race leader, and fair play to the back marker as well, moving out of the way. Yeah,
indeed. Vyers then, and he's been relegated, the 812. Coming up next, we have the blue flags.
Peter and Jano Stegmans are the crew in front of Gert Gordiev and Kasper Stupoulis, so they've unfortunately dropped down the order after a fantastic start inside the top 5.
He comes back saying, closing on Gordiev, rocketing past. Kaspers would have given him a tap. He just said, stay right, and he did. Here comes Etienne Bax, Nicolas Mousset.
Looks like Peter Stegmans has taken his goggles off.
Yeah, that's fatal. Not something you want to do, but he'll have been running out of puff. Let's face it, he's done really, really well. Into the last 3.5 minutes in this riveting race, but what an advantage they have. It's, I'm trying to look at the gap, but we'll catch it in a minute. My laptop still...
8.7 seconds between Bax and Hermans. Van Lukenen and Bax a further 10 seconds behind the number 3 crew. Veldman and Chermak, well, it was 10 seconds. It is now 15.
8.7 it is. Yeah, we're really strung out now. Race leaders, Bax and Mousset, will have done a great job if they bring it home. All they've got to do is maintain their composure, maintain their reliability, keep it going, keep that lovely old Zabel ZM30 thundering away underneath them, bellowing. In fact, it doesn't thunder, it bellows. It barks and it bellows. And the smell from the 2 strokes when we were in the paddock this morning, just delicious. That's all I can say. You wouldn't want too much of it, otherwise you get racing oil stuck to your lungs. But it is very, very evocative. Round they go past the next tailenders, the number 73 Milos Lava and Josef Havrocek. So Czech crews again with their Husqvarna filling up the numbers here, but providing great entertainment. Who's next on the Bax hit list? That looks like Lucas Czerny.
I was going to say, that looks like Lucas Czerny and Bastien Chopin.
It is the number 25 crew.
They're in 11th place. So Lucas Czerny and Bastien Chopin in 11th place, just being lapped now by race leader Etienne Bax and Nicolas Mousset. There is Peter and Jano Stegmans. A quick look behind from Jano, and he've got a faceful of the number 3 crew.
Second place, Hermans. Hermans and Glenn Janssens, number 3, the blue. I'm glad they're back in their blue livery. I can pick them out easily. Blue and yellow helmets, really, really smart. And they look good, but they must have given up hope now of catching the leader. We're into 1.5 minutes plus 2 laps, and I really don't think it's game on for them. But second place, from where they were, fighting through. The way they caught Marvin van Lukenen was hugely impressive.
It was. It caught me by surprise.
I know it did. I know it did. Absolutely did. In fact, you thought I miscalled it.
But fantastic stuff from the Dutch and the Belgian, Hermans and Janssens, just making the way up the inside of another back marker. Looks like the number 40 of Chanteloup and Tourbier. And indeed it is. So there is Lucas Czerny and Bastien Chopin. Gert Gordiev and Kasper Stupoulis are next in the firing line of Koen Hermans and Glenn Janssens.
And there they are, Hermans and Janssen. I'm going to stop fiddling with that timing screen now. It keeps dropping out. I'm going to focus on the closing 2 laps of this race, because at the end of it, our lovely director will give us a results caption, and there'll be absolutely no mistaking that. That won't drop out there. Gordiev still hanging in there, and Kasper Stupoulis still doing their thing. A respected rider, Gordiev, a quick starter as well, and back in the day certainly knows how to hold his own. Koen Hermans. Kasper Stupelis, riding in the outfit behind, said he would give Gordiev the benefit of his experience and help him to improve his riding, and he's certainly done a great job. They like the camaraderie, the comradeship and the friendship and the team spirit that they've generated within. Here comes Gordiev, the others moving over respectfully. Lucas Cherney doesn't know that he's in the same race as Gordiev. Gordiev took advantage of that. He pulled a little Estonian winkle there and pulled them all over his eyes.
He did indeed. Etienne Bax, Nicolas Mousset, of course, Etienne Bax, 3 times a world champion, and one of those championships in 2017 with that man there, Nicolas Mousset. Down the plunge then into this difficult left-hander. You can see how deep the roots are getting here, and the clock, I notice, has clicked 0.
Next time around there should be a 2-lap board. Marvin van Luckenow, Robbie Bax still performing admirably. Robbie Bax using all of his experience and more to do such a great job to help him on. Again, damage limitation, 3rd place, and it will be 18 points, 20 points. 20 points for Van Luckenow. It will be 22 points for Hermans, and it will be 25 points for Etienne Bax. And now,
bit of a freight train going on here for Marvin van Luckenow and Robbie Bax, but in his lonely 3rd place, I don't think she'll be too worried about that. Stefan Vyers and Loic van der Putten were there.
Veldman is to within 12 seconds now of Marvin van Luckenow. I don't think it's game on with 2 laps remaining, but nonetheless, Veldman will be getting a hurry up from his pit board. So 4th place for Veldman. Van Luckenow, having gone through the traffic, knows that he's just got the 2 laps after this to do. Etienne Bax now out in front, some almost 10 seconds from Koen Hermans. And Van Luckenow dropping back. Whether there's a fatigue problem there or just settling for 3rd place. Not that I've ever known any Sidecarcross crews settle for anything.
No, absolutely not. I mean, if there's still some part of the race left, then it's all go. Absolutely. But
Varick is past Willemsen.
Varick is past Willemsen.
So he's pushed Daniel Willemsen down. They're the race leader. 2 laps to go then for Etienne Bax and Nicolas Mousset. The Dutch-French pairing looking absolutely impeccable. Former champions together in what year?
2017.
2017.
4 years ago. Fantastic stuff then from Etienne Bax and Nicolas Mousset. And it looks as though this could be a turning point in their championship. I mean, from the word go, Daniel Willemsen, Rodolphe Lebreton, they initially got the whole shot, but Etienne Bax, Nicolas Mousset took the lead in the 2nd and 3rd turns, and well, did anybody catch up to him?
This is first of 3 races. We've got 2 more races tomorrow where they must pack it in tonight and go home to their truck with a very warm and happy feeling at what they're achieving here. It's not over yet, but next time round will be the last lap flag. Over the gap still down to 12 seconds between Van Luckenow and Julian Veldman. Veldman in 4th, safe ahead of Varick. It's a lonely 4th then for Julian Veldman, apart from the tail enders he keeps encountering.
Of course, and that really is an issue here. But as you say, 12 seconds is the difference between Veldman and Van Luckenow, and well, half a minute between Veldman and Varick. So it looks as though they're going to hold station as we go on to the final lap in just 1 second. But look at that, Etienne Bax and Nicolas Mousset, they have a 10-second lead. They're going on to the last lap, and they're still throwing it sideways into the last corner.
1 lap to go then of this fabulous Kramolin track here in the opening race for the 3rd Grand Prix of 2021. Etienne Bax and Nicolas Mousset came here 17 points adrift of the series leaders, and they have pulled some of that back because they've shoved Marvin van Luckenow back into 3rd. They're being chased by Koen Hermans, who is a threat. Of course he's a threat. It's very close at the top of the table. Varick has done himself a power of good by getting in front of Daniel Willemsen. He's maintaining that advantage. I can't do the rudimentary maths. I'm not even going to try. We'll wait till we get to the end of this race, and then I'll go home and get my pen out. And by the time we come on air tomorrow, I'll tell you, unless our lovely director does the calculations for us at the close of play of race 1.
Well, I do hope so, and it'll be beneficial for our knowledge and, of course, the knowledge of the listeners here on the various social media platforms. But, well, what can you say about Etienne Bax and Nicolas Mousset? They've just proved dominant throughout the course of this race. I mean, they're on their 18th, 19th and final lap. And, wow, a 9-second advantage over Koen Hermans and Glenn Janssens, who, let's not forget, of course, pulled out that massive gap over Van Lukener and Bax in such short time. And not only that, managed to overhaul a large gap as well. But into the closing stages of this final lap then for Etienne Bax and Nicolas Mousset. Over the jump, soon be into the right-hander. I think they know by now that this is theirs.
Here we go then. Round they go over this one. And then into this left-hander, the final left-hander. The checkered flag awaits just over the brow of this hill by that green shed in the middle of your picture. Looking by that green shed at the moment. There it is, the checkered flag. Victory. The body language says everything from Etienne Bax. Yes, he wanted that, didn't he? Robbie Bax, Nicolas Mousset, I beg your pardon. Nicolas Mousset, Robbie Bax comes over third, but there, Glenn Janssens, Koen Hermans, another fist in the air for them. Runner-up spot, that's done their championship, the power of good. Brilliant stuff. What will Marvin van Lukener think about that? The red plate holder comes home in third. No celebrations for him.
No.
He'll be a bit dejected, I would think.
I think you're right there, but I'll tell you what. There we
Veldman
go.
was close too.
Veldman and Chermak, yeah, the gap, well, it was 12 seconds. Across the line, 8 seconds. 8.9 seconds. There they are then. There is Van Lukener and Bax. Let's have a look at their body language. Well, they're not thrilled, to say the least, but I'll tell you what, that third place is their worst finish this year.
That's incredible. They are, well, say they're unhappy, overcome the rest of the guys. That's been a great opening race.
It certainly has, but it sounds as though Javer is down there with the race winner. Javer, let's have a chat.
So I got Etienne here with me. Etienne, okay, I'll give you a second to get that off. All right, there we go. How are you feeling? What a confident race win.
Yeah, well, you know what to say. You know, we had actually a quite difficult day. You know, we could not keep up with the pace. You know, we came 1 second short in the pre-qualifying. So it was a little bit of mixed feeling, you know. But yeah, we took a great start again, and we could win the race, you know. So I'm so happy, you know. This is what we need also this weekend, you know. We said already before the weekend, this is our key weekend. It can make us or it can break us. And so far it makes us. So we are still in the race for the championship, and that's what counts.
In the beginning, you quite sharply cut off Marvin. Did you realize you did that?
No. Front wheel came up at the start, and yeah, of course, when the sidecar is on the right side, it pulls to the right, you know. This is not something that I can do something with, but doesn't matter, you know. We win. We took the race. We took 5 points back on the leader in the championship, so we're happy, you know. Let's go for tomorrow.
Congratulations once again, and good luck for you tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
Well, there's one happy bunny. Absolutely very, very happy indeed.
I think he summed it up perfectly, where this weekend could make him or break him. And, well, as he quite rightly says there, Etienne is being made this weekend.
5 points, that's made a big difference. Now let's go down the bottom, because I think Javer has Koen Hermans.
Koen, fantastic racing from you today. How did you catch Marvin? Because we didn't see that on camera.
After the pits, you got the left corner, you got a table jump, and then we came into the inside and we passed him. So yeah, that was a good pass for us. So we can go to the trying to catch Etienne, but he was now for now he was for sure the fast. So. But we are really happy about the speed today, so we are happy.
It feels like you guys have one of the best speeds in the weekend. Where did you get the confidence? Where it came from? Because in the first two GPs were not going so well for you.
No, that's true, but this is the first good GP track. At the other GPs it was not easy to pass, and in Estonia it was a little bit muddy and sand, so now it's a good hard track and it's a lot of speed, so it's really good for our engine.
What's the goal for tomorrow?
For sure top 3, then we are really happy.
All right, I'll wish you good luck and I'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Well, he was absolutely thrilled, wasn't he? The families loved it. That was good spectator action. Getting chilly here now. They've got their hats and coats on. But, whoa, what a great result. I don't know whether we'll get a word from Marvin or not. He won't be the happiest bunny in the world. But nonetheless, he's been shown what these guys are capable of. And it's going to be really interesting going into tomorrow's 2 races. Weather conditions are promised to be the same. We're looking for that. And Marvin van Leeuwen, hopefully we can get to hear from these guys. But it was 3rd place for Marvin van Leeuwen and Robbie Bax. They rode their hearts out, but there was no stopping Koen Hermans and Glenn Janssens, who charged by apparently from nowhere into 2nd place. They were looking strong all the way, but looked like they might catch Etienne Bax, but then that piece of elastic got longer and longer, and Hermans had to admit defeat and let Bax go. No stopping Bax though. He's looking to get the red plate if he can. And down at the bottom, when we finish with Etienne Bax, we have 3rd place Marvin van Leeuwen.
All right, I have Marvin here with me. Marvin, Kramolin is considered your lucky track. What was missing today?
Yeah, the feeling on the bike in the race was totally not good. I think we have work to do for tomorrow. I had very fast last of arm pump, so on this high speed is it very dangerous with big arm pump. So yeah, we do what we can, and 3rd place was the highest possible today.
Well, still Veldman and Chermak were down in a 5th. What's the goal for tomorrow? Keep them behind you?
Yeah, for sure, but I think it's not only for him, but I think we need to win. That's just one goal tomorrow, and yeah, we will work for it.
Well, I'll wish you good luck for tomorrow and have a good rest tonight.
Thank you.
Very, very honest. Always very honest, Marvin van Leeuwen. There they are confirmed in 3rd. 25 points then go to Etienne and Nicola. Koen Hermans, Janssens, that's your top 3. Veldman was closing, but he ran out of puff in the closing stages. Varick fought through remarkably. Willemsen, Le Breton, absolutely brilliant. They're still there, always there or thereabouts. Kuban, Heinze with his left-hand sidecar, 8th. Sanders and Rostang and Leferink in the top 10. Interesting to see what he can do in the next 2 races. Gordiev Kaspers, they were not disgraced at all, and Cherney actually let them past. He thought they were lapping, but they weren't. They were in the same race. Steegmans, Vyers, Lagermatt, Jake Brown in the points. They came from bog last, left on the line, up to 16th. So it's all to play for tomorrow, lads. Come on, have a good night, get back on your bike. Visselink collecting the final point.
Willemsen is 10 times the world champion. Bax and Stupilis, they've done it again. Unbelievable. Marvin van Leeuwen certainly deserves the red plate. And what an incredible sport this is. Fast, high and spectacular. Unbelievable.